Hey guys, welcome to Cavern of Comics. I'm your host, Cooper Barnes. Let's get right to it. The theme of today's show is Epic Bloodbath. Now, if you like large-scale carnage, you come to the right place. First book we're going to take a look at is the 4-part limited series from Marvel, Siege. Now, Siege is basically one big-ass battle that has started when power-hungry nutcase Norman Osborn decides that he wants to invade and take over the floating city of Asgard, home to Thor, Odin, and basically all the Norse gods. Now, backing him up, he not only has the entire Hammer fleet and a whole shitload of supervillains, but he's also got the Sentry, who is probably the most powerful character in the Marvel Universe. I mean, this guy is scary, unstoppable. Imagine if, like, Superman, the Dark Phoenix, and Jason Voorhees all had a baby together. This guy is frightening. Now, the cavalry arrives in the form of Iron Man, Captain America, a few of the Avengers, but that's when the Sentry really starts laying the smackdown. Things get real nasty. Something happens in issue 2. I don't want to tell you what happens. Ares, the god of war, who is like quintessential ass kicker, him and the Sentry get into it. Ah, fuck it, I'm just going to show you. He ripped him in half, holy shit! Anyway, that's just the beginning. A lot of cool stuff is happening in this book. It's an epic book because it marks the end of a Marvel era. Lots of storylines that have been in the works for many years are converging on this one. So, not to be missed. Check it out. Next book we're going to take a look at is from Dark Horse Comics, and it's Aliens vs. Predator 3 World War. And this tells the story of a rogue group of predators who decided instead of killing for sport, they're just going to kill for the hell of it. And they've managed to utilize the xenomorphs, which we refer to as aliens, in a beast of burden type capacity, the end result being a lot of people getting killed. Now, the original predators, the honorable ones, are like, oh hell no, that's not going to fly. So they team up with a group of colonial marines to bring these guys down. But it ain't gonna be pretty. Blood is gonna fly, and it's either gonna be the bright red kind, the fluorescent green kind, or the acid kind that burns your goddamn face off. Best thing about this book for me is it's written by Randy Stradley. Now, he wrote the original Aliens vs. Predator book back in 1990, which holds a very dear place in my heart because it was one of the first like adult comics I got to read as a kid. I still remember flipping through it and being like, oh sweet, the F word. It's also like the best Alien vs. Predator story ever written. I don't know why they don't just make that into the movie. Anyway, this book is great. Hopefully it's going to live up to the original. They're up to issue 3 so far. So far, so good. Now, the last book we're going to take a look at today is the Image Comics book, Haunt. Now, Haunt tells the story of Kurt Kilgore, who is a Black Ops military dude who dies in the line of duty, and then he proceeds to haunt his estranged brother Daniel in the hopes that the two of them together can find out who killed him. Now, when the going gets tough and the bad guys come to get them, Kurt can actually like jump into Daniel's body and take him over, Oda Mae Brown style. Except instead of looking like Whoopi Goldberg with no eyebrows and shit, they look like this. And they got these sweet tendrils that can like shoot off and use as weapons. So anyway, when these two Wonder Twin powers activate, motherfuckers be getting killed. I mean, people getting chopped up, impaled, decapitated. It's not for the weak of heart. Now, the most epic thing about this book for me is it marks the return of Todd McFarlane to comics. Well, of Todd McFarlane, longtime Spider-Man artist, creator of Spawn, and he co-created this book along with Robert Kirkman. Now, I gotta say, this book's a lot like Spawn. I mean, I wouldn't compare the two if there wasn't so many blatant similarities, but it's very similar. The stakes aren't as high, it doesn't really feel as important to me, it's not as dark and brooding. However, the artwork's awesome, and I did have a good time with the book. You got Greg Capullo, Ryan Ottley, and even McFarlane himself doing some of the art on this thing. Best thing you can do is check out the trade paperback. It's actually what I did. It's a great way to find out if the book's right for you. Alright guys, that's it for me. I'm Cooper Barnes. This has been Cavern of Comics. Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned right here for more spine-tingling, scary madness on eerieTube.com.